This episode is presented by FanDuel. And oh my goodness, guys, do we have so many Knicks topics to discuss today? We're going to be talking about this current Knicks team. Can they win it all? We're going to be talking about Mitchell Robinson, his future with the Knicks. Is he going to stay? Is he going to get traded? And of course, we're going to be talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you never know, could he join New York? There's some other topics we're going to be talking about as well, but I was thinking to myself, if I'm going to be discussing all of these topics, I need more insight. So what did I do? I contacted the legend. He is a former New York Knicks beat writer for the New York Post. He covered the Knicks for 23 years. Please help me welcome the legend returns, the always great Marc Berman. Marc, how you doing today? Thank you so much for joining the show.
You're doing great. Quite an introduction. But yeah, it's I still keeping tabs of the Knicks. It's still in my blood after 23 straight seasons. And tonight on national TV, I get and local TV here in Florida, so I get to see them all four quarters.
Well, I can't wait for you to watch that. It should be a good game tonight. And so, Marc, like I was talking about, again, I know your time is limited, but this is one of my favorite interviews to do. You're one of my favorite people to interview. So because your time is limited, let's jump right into it, get started, and talk about all these things Knicks related. So one of the things that we got to talk about is the New York Knicks and their current team, this current version of the Knicks. Now, obviously, we've already seen some differences with this version of the Knicks compared to the last version of the Knicks from last season. One of the main things from last season that we noticed was the Knicks not really utilizing their bench. Well, this season with Mike Brown, they're utilizing their bench. Maybe the numbers don't support it, Marc, but they look like they're playing faster. They're intentionally moving the ball more. And as you can see here, they're one of the favorites to win the NBA Finals. Shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this updated information. The New York Knicks, they're at plus 1,300 to win the NBA championship. But my question to you is, with this version of the Knicks, how do they stack up to last year's team, and can they win it all?
Well, they don't have a better head coach and Mike Brown. I think they took a downgrade there. Uh, I hate to go after low-hanging fruit, but you talked about the bench, and the deep end of the bench is being paid to be in the game in the final 2 minutes of a blowout. And sure enough, Mike Brown has Jalen Brunson, who has always a danger to get injured the way he plays. So Jalen Brunson, of course, is on the floor with 1:40 left, and now he's out for at least a few games. So that's a black mark on Mike Brown right in the first month of his stint. I think the Knicks are still playing the same lax defense against the three-point line. And like Thibodeau, it's almost the same philosophy. You talk about the difference between Brown and Thibodeau, but they like to pack the paint. Thibodeau loved to pack the paint, prevent shots at the rim, and leave the three-point line not as closely guarded as it should. And I think the Knicks are one of the lowest teams in the league at defending the three. I think they're giving up like 15 threes a game, and Orlando.
They're the second worst.
Second worst.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Orlando absolutely torched them. But listen, yeah, they are playing a little faster. There's a little more creativity on the offensive end. Is their bench better? I mean, Clarkson shooting 37% from three. I'd like to see that a little higher, to be honest. I think Bridges is way more confident. I think he's at 45% from three-point land. That's huge. He'll get a lot of open looks all season with Brunson handling the ball. But everyone raved about the off-season signing of that French kid, the French center,
Mohamed Diawara.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Olympic French.
Yabusele. Right.
Yabusele, yeah. And Jordan, and Yabusele has been mediocre to say the least. And Jordan, I'd like to see him shoot the three a little better. I'm also worried. It's all about the playoffs, Troy. I mean, it's all about the playoffs. I want to see Jordan in a big moment. He's been on a lot of bad teams, especially recently in Utah. So can they win it all? Not as presently constructed. Can they get out of the East? I mean, I think it's 50-50. I mean, losses to Chicago, Orlando, Eastern teams like Milwaukee, that's not great. Miami, they even lost to. We'll see if they can make up for it tonight. But
Yeah.
50-50 on winning the East, maybe 60-40 winning the East, winning it all. I mean, I was talking to an executive today. It's like,
Right.
do they have to make a significant move right now to win the East? The way the East is so depleted injury-wise with some top teams,
Right.
maybe not. But, to win it all and beat the best team in the West, yeah, they're going to have to make another move. They're a piece away.
So it's great that we're on this topic, right? We're talking about this season and last season. Now, you spoke about a little bit about the coaching change. So, I have to ask. Tom Thibodeau, he was let go by the Knicks, this past season, and Mike Brown was hired. But I really didn't hear your thoughts, really full thoughts, publicly at least, regarding Tom Thibodeau being fired. So, what do you think about the Knicks firing Tom Thibodeau? Do you think he deserved to be fired?
Well, I think Leon Rose would like to go back in time and reverse it because from what I'm hearing, Jason Kidd was number one on the list. And they figured he'd be able to escape Dallas like he escaped Brooklyn back in the day. Didn't happen. I don't think Mike Brown was in the top 5 on the list as they continued to call other teams to try to get permission to talk to current head coaches like Quinn Snyder. I think that it was predetermined they were going to fire Thibodeau. He was too stubborn for them. They wanted to collaborate with him on minutes and load management. And the biggest quote from Mike Brown to me in preseason, late in preseason, I think he said, we're not going to be chasing wins this year. And that's all Thibodeau did. And I think that's the philosophical difference why they made the move. They want to be healthy for the playoffs. They don't want to, be putting starters in the game down 16 points with 2 minutes left, which was what happened the other night. But that's the philosophy. Let's not chase wins. Let's have load management. I don't think Thibodeau would have loved the Mitchell Robinson situation right now,
Right.
where they're babying him and it's all about load management. But I think if they knew they couldn't get Kidd, and I think Worldwide West wanted to hire Kidd back during the search 5 years ago, I think Kidd was runner-up to Thibodeau, and I think Worldwide West was leaning toward Kidd, but Leon Rose definitely wanted Tibbs to run the show, and it was a great stint by him. I think he was fired 1 year prematurely.
So you kind of already answered the question, but I do want to ask. Mike Brown, we've seen what he's done over the last 11 games. Your thoughts about Brown? Do you think he was the right person for this job, or do you really feel like they should have went with Jason Kidd?
Well, if Jason Kidd could have gotten out of his contract and Dallas didn't create a big stink, and I think it goes back to the tampering that the NBA ruled happened with Jalen Brunson. I don't think that the Mavericks were going to give an inch to the Knicks. I mean, they were really ticked off at how the Brunson thing happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Jason was number one on the list from what I'm told. And I don't know where Mike Brown was, but I don't think he was even top 3. I think they really wanted a more thorough search and did not. I mean, they're interviewing Micah Nori, who's a very nice assistant coach, but to be the head coach of the Knicks in the biggest media market in the world, a team that is finals or bust, I mean, like, that was ridiculous. But they were desperate, and they interviewed Becky Hammond. But yeah, listen, he's not the worst choice, but I don't think he was a top 3 choice.
That is very interesting. I think a lot of people are going to have some words about that because, there are some people in the fan base right now. Even now, they're going back and forth. Should we have went with Tom Thibodeau? I mean, look what happened with Jalen Brunson. Should we kept him for another year? Or maybe do we just embrace this newness with Mike Brown? So even within the fan base, it's not 100% for Mike Brown or against him. I think people are still waiting around 25 games to understand if he's going to be the coach they all expect him to be.
Yeah, it's tough to gauge. Like on Twitter, I feel that social media outlet seems to be more anti-Thibodeau. But when I'm in the street, even in Florida, and people would talk to me about the Knicks, they'd be, why'd they fire Thibodeau? And I'm not in New York anymore. I don't hear WFAN anymore. So I don't know what the calls were in those days. But I think it was pretty much like, why did they fire him? But Twitter, I don't know, at least my followers, anytime I say a pro Thibodeau tweet,
Yeah.
They attack me like I'm the devil.
Twitter's a large place, and there's a lot of different places, and there's sometimes you'll get those, but if you target the right people, I promise you, there's so many Tom Thibodeau supporters out there. I could probably point you out to some of them, but I do want to talk. I do want to talk about something because when I always think about this player, I think about one of our interviews that we had back in the day. I think it was a couple of years ago. You had a relax T-shirt on, and you know who I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about.
I wear it almost every day.
So you're still relaxing. See, we gotta talk to Mitch and let him know you're taking his advice. We gotta talk about Mitchell Robinson. I mean, Mark, one of the major storylines from this offseason was if the Knicks were going to even extend Mitchell Robinson. And obviously the sides didn't come together. As I heard from Ian Bagley, and I'll pull this up actually for everybody to read, Mitchell Robinson and the New York Knicks did not engage in advanced extension discussions before the season. And there's no sense that Robinson and New York will reach an agreement on an extension before the June 30th deadline. Without the extension, Robinson would become an unrestricted free agent in July. And the reason I'm asking this, Mark, is because I know how Leon Rose operates. We all do. He's not going to let anybody, at least in my opinion, walk for free. Not somebody like Mitchell Robinson. He didn't do that with Julius Randle. I think that I think the goal might be to keep Robinson. But if they know they're not going to be able to extend him, then maybe a trade is looming there. My question to you is, what do you think is going to happen with Robinson? Are they going to extend him, or ultimately is he going to be traded?
Yeah. It's funny because this might be the one exception where you're trying to win a championship this year. The Eastern Conference, again, is injury riddled. You have a real straight pathway to the finals. Yes, you might not re-sign him, but hey, let's give it everything we got with Mitchell this year. What's the stat? This outscoring teams 34 points per 100 possessions when he's on the court. I mean, limited time. Yeah. He hasn't played more than 20 minutes. And the load management, he's missed half the games maybe. But he is such a unique piece that few NBA teams have, keeping alive possessions, those offensive rebounds, is what iHeart was doing, a couple of years ago during their big playoff run. And Mitchell has the alley-oop capabilities. Listen, the way his frame is as a 7-footer, he's prone to these foot injuries. He's obviously got a chronic ankle issue. So at the deadline, Troy, I mean, like, who is going to offer? If you're going to trade for Mitchell, you're a contender to try to add a piece for now. So why would the Knicks take draft picks? Like, unless, you take draft picks so you could maybe trade for Giannis, but I don't know. It's such a vexing question. Do you just say, let's get Mitchell one more year and try to win the championship and break the curse and hold on to him because we're not going to get enough for him because of his injury history? I just don't see a big offer where they're going to get back a player that could really help them this season. And it's all about this season.
Right.
It's all about this season and next season. So honestly, if a gun to my head, I say they keep him. And they're going to do the load management thing. And hopefully come playoff time, he could be full bore or, not full bore 30 minutes, but 23 minutes a night, get a bunch of offensive rebounds to keep, because the Knicks are on a great 3-point shooting team. They need rebounders on the offensive glass.
Yes, they do.
So I just think he's this special case where, we may lose him for free, but we may win a championship too if we have a Mitchell Robinson healthy in the playoffs and he's playing like he can, like the Minnesota game, which was like just incredible to watch him dominate the Minnesota on the glass.
That's the reason why Mitchell Robinson is so polarizing, because you love him when he's on the floor, but then when he's not there or he's dealing with an injury, you always think back to, well, this is what I have to deal with before I can get that type of impact. I do agree with you as well. I think that it's so hard to gauge his value. And that's the thing with trades. If you're going to trade somebody, you need to understand somebody's value. What is his value? His injury status goes up and down. He's on load management. What could you possibly get for Robinson that would make sense to trade him? I don't think a trade like that is going to exist at the deadline. So it's likely. Go ahead.
The only thing I can think of is a 3-team trade with Giannis, with Mitchell involved. And,
right.
Unfortunately, Bridges would probably have to be involved, and he's playing a lot better, in my opinion, than last season. I think he was nervous last season He obviously didn't like Thibodeau. I think he feels very comfortable with Mike Brown. I'm telling you that catch and shoot three-pointer for Bridges, it's because, Josh Hart is just an erratic three-point shooter. So you need Bridges to drain that. OG is pretty consistent. And when Bridges is shooting 45% from three, I mean, that's huge.
Especially from the corners. I mean, the Knicks are one of the best corner shooting threes this season, especially with him and OG Anunoby, who I know had an off night the other night, but usually he comes to play.
Yeah.
While we're in this trade scenario here, I have to talk about it for all of our listeners or watchers who are watching the stream right now who have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to Giannis. Please let me enlighten you really quickly when it comes to Giannis Antetokounmpo and what I'm talking about here. So with Giannis, Shams Charania has stated that New York emerged as the only team Giannis Antetokounmpo desired outside of Milwaukee in the offseason. That's again what sources told ESPN. And the Knicks and the Bucks engaged in talks for a window of time. That window was apparently 2 weeks, a 2-week period where the Knicks knew Giannis wanted to play here. So did the Bucks. Conversations were happening. Offers were made, and it was not finalized. But the Knicks apparently, Mark, had their shot. So I'm just going to throw it to you. The Giannis Antetokounmpo situation. It was obviously real. I have a lot of different reports on it. What have you heard about that situation? And what is the reality of it? Is Giannis really, at some point in time, going to join the Knicks?
I don't think it's going to be this season. It was depressing to watch the Knicks face the Bucks and see the Bucks play so well. And that kid Rollins, the point guard, looks like a real deal. And if Giannis sees some pieces around him emerging, I mean, they're over 500. Giannis is hurt with a knee right now, but I mean, the guy's averaging 32 points. He's leading the league in scoring over 30 points per game. He's even shooting 50% from three-point land. I know he only takes 2 a game, and his free throw shooting is back up to 63%, which is not what it was when he faced the Nets in those playoffs when he couldn't hit a free throw.
Right.
He's at the prime. He's playing as good as he's ever played. I mean, this knee injury right now a little scary, but if you can make the deal, I know. Here's the thing with Towns. He has wonderful numbers, but in the playoffs, and it's only about the playoffs, if he has one really horrible game in a playoff series, it could cost him the series, and it did against Indiana. He had one hellacious game. Sometimes he withdraws from a contest, and he doesn't make an impact. And I saw him do that in a Minnesota Game 7 in the second half. I remember being very concerned to see Towns so uninvolved in a Game 7 loss. So it's all about the playoffs. And Giannis has won a championship. Giannis is never going to back down. He's never going to back away. Every single playoff game, he's going to be terrific. And I don't know about Towns. I think he could have, 5 of 7 very good games, but those 2 games that he's not good, well, that's going to kill the Knicks. So, yeah, if you could do a deal centered around Towns and, I hate to see Bridges go, but Giannis is so remarkable that if you want to win a championship, I think you have to do it. I don't think this team could beat the West. There's 4 teams in the West that could beat the Knicks. I think the Knicks might be the best team in the East because of the injury situation with other teams.
Right.
But in the Western Conference, I don't see the Knicks beating Oklahoma City. I mean, even Minnesota. This Denver, I mean, I think they have to make the Giannis move if they want an NBA championship. And that's what everything should be about. When you fire Thibodeau, it means you're saying, I don't think we could win the championship with him. So we're going to have to bring in someone else. And I think that's someone else better than Mike Brown is Giannis.
If Giannis comes to New York, we used to talk about, remember the Zion conversations we used to have, how Adam Silver would lose his mind if, that happened. I think if Giannis came to New York, the Knicks are so attractive already, given all the moves they've made. You bring a player like Giannis to the Knicks and what he can do, the power that he brings, it almost changes the dynamic of the NBA in a way. It shifts it. So I completely agree with you. I want that move to happen. My only concern is I know how Leon Rose operates as well. He's not going to gut the team for Giannis. I think it's going to have to be Giannis also requesting out while the New York Knicks pursue him. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think Giannis has to force Milwaukee's hand, and as a result, the package doesn't have to be so sensational.
Right.
As we were talking about Mitchell before, I mean, the only way I see trading Mitchell is if you get a bunch of, 2 first-round picks. I don't know if he's worth that. I doubt he is. But, to build up your draft stock so you can have a package for Giannis. But yeah, listen, Adam Silver would love to see Giannis in New York. Listen, Zion Williamson, he was supposed to be the face of the NBA, and that
Oof.
never happened. And Wemby is he's from Europe, and Jokic is from Europe, and there's so many players. Listen, Giannis is obviously Greek, but I feel he's more an American type in that sense. I feel like people in America really identify 100% with Giannis as an American icon.
I think that when it comes to basketball, you can't speak about it without speaking about Giannis and his greatness because he's still one of the best players in the NBA. So as long as that's part of the conversation, I think him being part of the Knicks in any capacity is always going to be something important. This is going to be my last question for you, Mark, because I know you have to go. So it's really about Jalen Brunson. And I know he's out right now with a grade 1 ankle sprain. Hopefully he's back within 2 weeks. We all hope and pray. But he's been playing different basketball, but he's also thriving in the new role as well. More off ball. He's not taking as many shots. He still does the ISO at times, but more when the Knicks don't have anything and he has to force some action. But he normally now is moving the ball. Now I think he's 15th in the league in terms of assists, right behind SGA at 6.5 a game. So he is moving the ball more. What do you think about this version of Jalen Brunson? Is it the best version of Jalen Brunson we've ever seen right now under Mike Brown?
Well, I mean, I think that's why Mike Brown was hired partly. Rick Brunson has a lot to say, unfortunately. And, I don't know how much it's been reported, and it probably has, but Rick wasn't the most loyal person to Tom in the end. And I think Rick thinks that Mike Brown could really help Jalen being off the ball more. And I do think that, I was talking to someone, a scout today, and they said that Mike Brown's like really experimenting a lot of things right now. He's trying different rotations, different looks to see what he wants to do late in the season. And he's definitely experimenting with different things with Jalen, and it's working. I like it. I'm just worried about Jalen's health. He's on the floor half the time. I know sometimes he goes to the floor on his own
Right.
to try to draw the foul.
Right.
But I mean, as stocky as he is, he's a small guy and he gets knocked to the floor a lot. And he's got some ankle issues. I mean, past ankle issues. Last year, he missed 15, 16 games.
Same ankle.
Yeah, with the same ankle in last March.
Yep.
So I'm worried about his health also, more than his style of play. He's drawing fouls. The referees are still giving him the ticky-tack calls. He still drops to the ground, and they still give him the foul, even though it looks like he flopped. So things are still looking up for Brunson. He's getting great respect from the referees. He's got every move in the world.
Yeah.
And Brown is giving him a different look to be off the ball, and he's still moving the ball. And I think it's working out very well. It will be interesting now with Brunson out to see what the Knicks look like. I love Miles McBride.
Yeah.
He's not a playmaker though. And he's improved his 3-point shot and a great defender, but it's going to be interesting to see how they operate. I know they were over 500 without him last season, without Jalen.
I think we were 9-6, if I'm not mistaken. They were. Yeah.
Which is very good considering how great Brunson is. But Miles McBride will be the key during this sequence, and big answers on this road trip coming up. I know. It's like 5 games straight on the road. I know one of them is against the G League team in Brooklyn, but still, it will be interesting to see how they fare in Miami, how they do in the rematch versus Orlando. They got Dallas. So it's going to be very interesting. A lot of answers on this road trip. They haven't been great away from the Garden.
Do you guys all understand now who's watching why I call him a legend? I hope you guys understand why. The insight, always on point, great information. Can't get it without Marc Berman. Thank you so much, Mark. I know you have to go. I just want to say again, whenever you come on this show, it's not only the insight that we get, it's the personality, the love, and the comments, by the way. They all talk about you, how good you look, how slim you look. Like I told you before, retirement suits you. It loves you.
Yeah, I'm enjoying Florida for sure, but still following the Knicks too much. I feel I should back away, but I can't help myself. But thanks so much for the kind words, Troy. I always enjoy speaking with you, and you ask the great questions, and your show is fantastic.
I appreciate it, Mark. Thank you so much again for joining the show. Next time when we get you on, I hope it's about more conversations about the Knicks. Maybe we talk about Giannis eventually coming to New York. We'll see what happens. But Mark, thank you so much. Talk to you next time, all right?
Take care, Troy. Thanks so much.
Of course. But that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I thank you so much for tuning in. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're doing. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get the 40,000 subscribers, and your support means everything. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, then you got to hit that subscribe button. But until next time, Knicks fans, please make sure you take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love. And I'll catch you guys on the other side.